Good afternoon from Galen Center. Welcome to our first on the road broadcast here at UCLA Radio Sports Broadcast. And thank you for joining us. Rather just me for the first time. See the first half. Grant Walters for your second half. We apologize for having audio difficulties. Obviously, in this new territory for us, there have been some issues with playing in our usual audio. And it's just on the UC on the file today. But we have a fantastic matchup between the UCLA Bruins and Trojans. Another edition of this fantastic rivalry. UCLA leads the Oakland Series 50-54 after winning last matchup earlier this season at home to the dominant 46 victory. And now, as we get ready for tip-off, tournament stakes on the line for the Trojans. Lauren Betts wins it for the Bruins. Ace for Reese, Rosie Walker in the win. Speaker is competing back for that. That's in the post. You'll see brings a double team. Cross-court pass, dangerous, and tipped away by Jazzy Davidson. He does a little bit of everything for these Trojans. We'll stay with the Bruins. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Gonna drive right. Bounce pass inside. Neekins goes back in trouble. Shot clock winding down, puts it up. And the fadeaway is good. First points of the night for Gianna Neekins. 2-0 UCLA. And great defense there from Gabriela Hawkins to kick that outside pass. He's going to end up to get jumped on. Touchdown points to the Trojans. And they're just the first of likely many instances tonight of UCLA getting into passing lanes, using their great length as a team to disrupt the Trojans' offense. Jazzy Davidson, all the way back near half court, hands it off to London Jones, who travels. It was a sloppy play to start it off for USC. London Jones, of course, looking for a bit of a revenge game, having played her first 3 seasons with the Bruins. As UCLA now looks to extend their early lead. Roger Walker bringing it up. Now Rice hands it back off to Roger Walker. Now Rice on the wing. Got a look inside to Betts. USC once again brings the double team. Forced to retreat. Crossbar pass to Neekins. Drives right. And she travels. No jokes out there to Neekins. And getting a bit hurried there by the USC defense. Now an exchange of turnovers in the early going here. UCLA bringing a bit of a press here. Gabriela Hawkins. Pass with Jazzy Davidson, one of the most electric players in the game. We're at the top of the key. Smith. Now back to Jones. Smith off the pass against pops a 3, no good. Rice with the rebound. Looking to push the pace in transition. Dumps it to Lizard Walker, who goes up and finishes right over the top of Kennedy Smith. Bruins have 4-0 here. 8:10 left to go in this first quarter. London Jones trying to get around for at least Lizard Walker to no avail. He'll dump it off to Davidson. Davidson crosses over, pulls up from the free throw line. This is a bit short. Betts gets her hand on it. It ends up in the hands of Kiki Rice. And Rice throws the elbow. That's going to be an offensive foul in the second Bruin turnover. Kennedy Smith, like defense there. Things already looking very tense in this highly, highly intense rivalry. And here is going to be Smith at the top of the key. Passing to Dunn. Back out to Smith. Stepping back, tries the long 2. Knocks it down, and USC is finally got their first sense of light. Lauren Betts again on the inside. Again, double team. He's stripped away by Smith. They call it a jump ball first, however. And it's going to stay with UCLA. So the Trojans already bringing a ton of pressure against Lauren Betts. He was extremely successful in the last game. I think Betts inbounds it. Gabriela Hawkins has some room to touch the three. No good. Betts with the rebound. Dumps it back off to Hawkins. Can't finish on the layup. Rebound. Going the other way. Done. Cross court pass it. Oh, looking to push the pace was done there, but just overthrew Laura Williams under the rim. That'll be already USC's third turnover of this game. UCLA leads 4-2, 3 minutes into the first quarter. Gunnar Neekins, pressured by Jazzy Davidson. There's another entry pass to Betts and another double team, but this time Hawkins is wide open on the opposite block. Betts finds her for the assist. And there's the, just an ugly pass there from USC. Rice going the other way, and UCLA has a chance to really extend the lead here. Another double team on Betts, back out, a wide open Ledger Rocket for three, brings it. UCLA 9-2 now is the lead. 6.5 left to go in this first quarter, and the press is already working wonders for them. But now the ball is in Jazzy Davidson's hands. She leads USC in all 5 major statistical categories. If she says, "Get off me," the Ledger Walker puts some shots. He gets fouled. Lauren Betts came up to contest. That'll be UCLA's second team foul. Now entering the game for the Bruins. Thanks to Googly. The Trojans also making a couple changes. The refresh the line. It's about 4 minutes into this game. And Jazzy Davidson comes to the line. Just a freshman, but already one of the best players in the country. She hits the first three for once she leads USC in every major statistical category. She's the only player in Division I to do so, and that's just as a freshman. Truly a special talent for the Trojans. As she's able to hit both free throws and cut the lead to 5. Now USC bringing a press of their own here. It's Googly to bring the ball in. Ledger Walker, directing traffic. Finds Rice at the top of the key. That's handed back up to Rice, who passes out of a shot, gets it right back to him. Benson finishes with the and one. Just a beautiful 2-player game there between P.P. Rice and Lauren Betts. Ends and one for UCLA. Chance to finish off the 3-point play for P.P. Rice, who has just been outstanding for the Bruins this year. Second on the team in assists, and also averaging a career high in points. He's able to hit the free throw, make it a 12-4 game. And it'll be best for Betts for the Bruins. Sienna enters for Lauren. 5:52 left to go as the Bruins press yet again. This time they're going to back off of Jazzy Davidson a little bit. We'll see if she has a bit of room to operate now as the Trojans have really scuffled on offense so far. Davidson going to the baseline, pulls up, no good. Fight for the rebound, and it's tipped all the way out to Ledger Walker, who's able to start the break, passes out to Sienna Betts, who will reset to Rice. Now, Sienna Betts, top of the key, gonna spin and get Rice back for the timing. Beautiful finish on that layup, and UCLA now up 14-4. And finally back into Jazzy Davidson's hands here. USC really running their offense too early on as she tries the dangerous entry pass. It's tipped away by UCLA. That'll bring us to the first immediate time out of the game. 5 minutes on the dot. And it has been, as many would have expected, a dominant start to this game for UCLA. They are truly just great at everything. They are a team that really, by many measures, has no weakness. They are top 5 nationally in scoring offense. They're the 26th scoring defense. They're second in the nation, field goal percentage, 93-point percentage, second in assists per game. They are basically good at everything. And it's just tough for a team like USC to deal with them because Without Juju Watkins this season, no Davidson has stepped up as a true star for them. They have lacked the depth necessary to compete with a team like UCLA. They do have four scorers averaging double digits this season. However, no one else has 3.5 points per game for the Trojans. Meanwhile, UCLA just loves spreading around the scoring. Kiki Rice averaging 15.3 per game. Neepkins 13.2. Hawkins 14.1. Obviously, Lauren Betts leads the way with 16.7, but you have so many depth players like Dublin, 9.1 points per game. Sienna Betts 7. Early Sledger Walker 8.6, and also leading the team with 5.7 assists per game. It is such a deep lineup for UCLA, and that is what makes them difficult to deal with. And early on in this one, Ledger Walker is the leading scorer, but Neepkins, Betts, and Rice have all gone on the board with field goals of their own. Whereas Jazzy Davidson has really had to shoulder the load for USC. Nevertheless, this is a rivalry game, and you can never just say it's going to go one because USC and their fans are absolutely hyped for this game. We have a sold-out Galen Center today, and it's highly, highly intense every time these two teams meet. The Bruins have won 2 straight now, including last season's Big Ten championship game. They took 72 to 67. And that's a game in which Juju Watkins put up 29 points for the Trojans. And without that type of scoring, led to matchups like we've had this season. In their first meeting, UCLA hosting won 80 to 46, and Lauren Betts was able to dominate that game. She put up 18 points and 12 rebounds. One of her 11 double doubles this season, which leads the Big Ten conference. And as they break out of this timeout, USC is going to really have to try and figure out both sides of the ball. UCLA, 4 of their last 4 from the field. And the Trojans have made just 1 field goal of their own in the first 5 minutes of this game. USC will have the ball to start. Kennedy Smith on the index. Dunn on the elbow. Running by Ledger Walker. Resets it. Going right and into Jubilee. Blocks that attempted 3-pointer. Wow, just shot clock troubles there for the Trojans. As UCLA once again looking to extend their lead. Sienna Betts still on the floor, no more. Kiki Rice inside to Jubilee. Jubilee spins around and tries to push shot, no good. She's able to get her own rebound, however. It's back out to Ledger Walker. And that's a dangerous pass and stolen by Davidson. He's going to go perfect. Look at the Trojans. Leading the team, 2.1 steals per game with Jazzy Davidson. She makes her impact felt on both sides of the ball early in this one. She's covering Kiki Rice up here. Sienna Betts going left, loses the handle, tries to fall on it, and that's going to be yet another tie. This time it's just another point for USC. And now the Trojans, 4 minutes left in this first quarter, will have a chance to really cut into this UCLA lead, which had been built up so much early. 14-6 now. As the Bruins may be relenting a little bit with the press. As we're going to let Leah Samuels bring up this ball for the Trojans, relatively uncontested. Now into the hands of Davidson yet again. He's going to try and pass down low, but that's deflected by Dugas. Stolen by the Bruins. Ledger Walker trying to go coast to coast. Turns around as it's stripped away. So pass it back out to Rice. Drives right. Now Ledger Walker in the corner. And she is fouled on the floor there. She tried to get the pass to Sienna Betts on the block. Team foul number 2 for USC. As Neekins and Lauren Betts re-enter the game, Ledger Walker and Sienna Betts get a rest for UCLA. Already a lot of substitutions for the Bruins as Rice inbounds to Neekins. And Davidson yet again getting her hands on that pass, but UCLA is able to retain possession. It's going to screen from Betts. Google its top mid-range shot, no good, but yet another offensive rebound. This time, Gabriella Hawkins. Now getting the screen from Betts is Neekins, and another foul on the floor against the Trojans. Brown's already playing this game. The shootout arena is rocking this afternoon. And we'll see if it continues to get into the Bruins' hand. As Cheeky Rice going right, back out to Doodles, quick three, right on the money. And UCLA now has their largest lead of the game, 17-6. 3 to go in the first. Willis Samuels getting the screen. They're going to go into the wing. Got that ball. A big steal by Neekins. And the Bruins got to reset it early again. Kennedy Smith had that ball stripped right out of her hands. Rice without to Betts. Once again, trying for the pick and roll. This time back out to Dubelich on the wing. Three-pointers no good. And a great box out by Ucla on Lauren Betts to get that defensive rebound. With Smith driving right, tries to pull it from the elbow, knocks it down. Right over the top of Lauren Betts. That was a tough shot that brings USC's deficit to 9. That's on the elbow. Hands it off to Neepkin. She'll pick up her dribble. Now reset it. Hawkins crossing over. Tries the entry pass to Betts. Deflected, but right out to a wide open Neepkins. A rare miss on an open three-pointer. Offensive rebound. Hawkins. That tipped around some more. I don't even know what this happened there. But a lot of tippings, and it ended up in the hands of Angela Dubelich, who finished it under the rim. And there is an ugly pass from Lewis Sanders that was going right out of bounds for another USC turnover. That brings them up to 6 on the game already. Just 9 minutes into this contest. UCLA already in that danger zone of pulling away, up 19-8. It's inside the Betts. Great pass. Double teamed again, and it'll be yet another jump ball. Going to stay with UCLA on that one. But Trojans, if they've done one thing well in this game so far, it's been sending those double teams to Lauren Betts and limiting her production inside. As Neekins going to take it back out to Dubelich. Betts setting the string for Dubelich. No good on the 3 off that screen. And be a rebound for USC as London Jones tries to get something going for the Trojans. He'll try to go around Betts. He'll pick it out to the corner. Beautiful 3 time. That is going to be the first point of the night for Diana Mendez. USC cutting the lead to 8. Inside Dubelich. Backing him down, and that is going to be a strict Diana Mendez making her presence felt offensively with the three-pointer and then defensively with the steal. Inbound to London Jones, and some pressure being delivered here by Charlize Litter Walker. Now it'll be in the hands of Kennedy Smith. 8 seconds left in this first quarter. Trojans looking to take the last shot. Smith crossing over. Picks it out to the corner. Mendez again. No good. That's pulls down the rebound. The time expires. UCLA carries a 19-11 lead as we end the first quarter. So the Trojans seemingly in danger of letting this game slip out of their hands really a couple times and made a couple of very nice defensive stands to keep themselves in this game. UCLA not typically a very high turnover team, but tonight already 5. in this first quarter, and that's really what's been preventing them from pulling away. Obviously, USC has been having their own struggles with keeping the ball out of the Bruins' hands. When they're up, they had 6 turnovers on their own. But what it's come down to for the Trojans is trying to limit Lauren Betts inside, where she was able to dominate against them in her last time out against this Trojans team. And in that first quarter, Betts put up a donut, no points. However, with all those double teams the Trojans were sending to limit Betts specifically, he was able to use her improved passing skills to set up the Bruins with 3 assists. And that has been a huge area of improvement. That's obviously already one of the best players in the country, defending Defensive Player of the Year, but she's really improved as a passer throughout her UCLA career, now up to 3.1 assists this season. And the Bruins as a whole, a fantastic passing team. I mentioned before, second in assists in the country on the season per game, 22.2. Lizard Walker, 5.76 per game, third in the Big Ten. And as a team, UCLA leads the Big Ten in assists to turnover ratio, 1.74 assists per turnover. And so tonight, they've gotten 6 assists, but turned it over 5 times. So how can they respond to this defensive pressure from USC is going to be a question for the rest of this game to see if they can keep extending that lead. USC, though, it's been an interesting start to them because they haven't gotten much offensive production really from anyone. But Jazzy Davidson has not been at her absolute best so far in this season. But they're looking to turn them around. So get plenty of opportunities as this game goes on. And Davidson is just an incredible player, leading the Trojans this way category. And she's scored in double digits 24 games in a row. She put up 12, 20 plus point performances this season. He's second in the Big Ten in blocks per game at 2.1. But that offensive prowess wasn't enough. And she's also got some history against the UCLA team. She and Sienna Betts were on the FIBA U19 World Cup team for the United States last summer. They won a gold medal together, but I understand no love lost between the two on the court tonight. And this is a bitter rivalry. And we imagine those players will stay with these schools throughout their careers. Sienna obviously following in the footsteps of her older sister in the Bruins Riders career. And it's just another great recruit for the Trojans and Davidson already having Juju Watkins, who is this phenomenal prospect and one National Player of the Year last year. Now Davidson's carrying the load for the Trojans this year as we get the second quarter started. London Jones bringing it up for the Trojans. Done. All right. Now tries this fade away, no good. Lauren Betts rebound for UCLA. Offense on the corner, now back it up to Lizard Walker. There's Meekins, hands it off to Rice. By the Betts, has it at the top of the key. Hands it off to Meekins, she's going to try and drive left. So much traffic in the paint, but she's able to find space and pull the short jumper from the block. It's good, and UCLA extends their lead 21-11. Jones pulls up quickly and knocks it down. London Jones on the board for USC. The top jumper there, and quick pass into Lauren Betts. The double team once again works, but UCLA retains possession. Hawkins takes some contact inside. No good on the floater, but Lauren Betts, offensive rebound, no good on the football. USC able to corral the defensive rebound. As here's quick three, no good that time from Smith. Hawkins running away and trying to create some quick offense for the Bruins. There's Meekins, who almost get the string from Betsy. Slides off of it, tries the mid-range jumper, no good. 11. We've got a foul on the defensive line against Andy Smith. That will be her first foul of the night. Drawing some protests from many a Trojan, both in the crowd and on the bench, as Ledger Walker will inbound for UCLA. Then to Neepkins. Smith and tough coverage, but she just runs into a brick wall. And Lauren Betts, who gets free under the basket and is able to get the layup to go. What a screen from Lauren Betts to get herself some space. UCLA now up 23-13. London Jones going to the basket. Lauren Betts, what a size difference there. 5'4", able to finish with Lauren Betts standing at 6'7", right in the face. Neepkins driving left. Euro steps in is fouled in the layup attempt. It'll be 2 shots for Neepkins. Still looking to extend 23-15 lead. 7:41 here to go in the second quarter. It's Young Neepkins up to the line, and she is just a phenomenal shooter in every respect. 93.8% at the line this season coming into the game. And also, just one of the best overall shooters in the Big Ten. He hits the first. He's 53% from the field this season and 45.9% on threes, which is good for second in the conference. Second free throw is also good. UCLA back up to a 10-point lead. So a decent amount of time now without Jazzy Davidson minutes for the Trojans, but they've been able to hang with UCLA while she's been off. Malia Sanders tries to work something out here. And now Lennon Jones at the top of the key. Mendes turning, trying to shake free. Well, dumps it to Dunn, who's been quiet so far tonight. Now inside the Mendes, he is absolutely stuffed by Lauren Betts. Now going the other way, Kiki Rice spinning back out to Betts. Left the middle at the top of the key, but she'll give it to Neepkins. He's able to use a jump step to get some space. They pick it out to the wing. Ledger Walker no good on that three-pointer. Samuels gets the rebound and goes, trying to go coast to coast, but it's stripped by Neepkins. She's able to recover it. Pass it out now. Dunn on the wing. And USC will reset, slow it down here. London Jones. Crossing over on Hawkins, gets around her. No, beautiful pass to a cutting Samuels. Trojans now down 25-17, 6.5 to go in the second quarter. Betts hands it off. Ledger Walker has some space. He cannot give her that much space. He shoots that 3 ball. He's up to 2 threes on the night, 8 points for the Bruins. Samuels trying to go to the basket, going baseline. That's a dangerous pass. Rolls it off and Warren Betts is back, but somehow stays with the Trojans. But Betts deflects that pass. And now Bruins running out, and they hit Lincoln for 3 and the win. And they'll take a 31-17 lead. Neepkins now on the board with her first three-pointer. 2.4 per game, tied for 6th in the Big Ten. And there is a foul going to be called against Ledger Walker. As Mendes was trying to get that pass to London Jones. Not a lot of fouls so far tonight for either team, really. Just 3 total fouls between the two squads in the second quarter. 5:37 remaining. Refs really letting them play so far. A lot of physical play down low, especially regarding Lauren Betts. As Betts, the checkout of the game once again for his sister Sienna. And there's Mendes at the top of the key. Screens for London Jones, who tries to step in as the shot clock winds down. That's way up. And it'll be another turnover, this time a shot clock violation for USC. The Jubilee enters the game for Hawkins. Bruins now, once again, with their largest lead of the game, 31-17. 5:15 left to go as we approach the media timeout in the second quarter. Over Walker has Rice. Now Neekins. Into Sienna Betts. They bring the double team. Now they back off. There's a bit of a wild pass to Neekins. He's able to corral it. Shot clock winding down now. Just 5 seconds to shoot. As Rice tries to get some space, and he loses the handle. It's going to be an over and back ball against UCLA. And that will be turnover number 6 on the game for the Bruins. As we will head to the media timeout. 4:38 left in the second quarter. UCLA leads 31-17. So a methodical sort of pulling away here from UCLA as they've slowly extended their lead throughout those games. It's a 14-point advantage now, as really they've been able to handle the Trojans in basically every aspect of the game, winning the turnover battle 8-6. They're out shooting them 50% from the field compared to 44% from the Trojans. They've made 4 men with 3 pointers compared to the Trojans just 1 5. And the boards have been absolutely crazily favoring the Bruins so far. 14-5 advantage for UCLA. The Trojans have no second chance opportunities, not a single offensive rebound. UCLA up to 6 already. And it's really been a team effort for the Bruins. They've had some guards and really been playing all over the floor for the Bruins guys. He's made 3, but he's also played a lot from the low post. And of course, Lauren Beck pitching it. It's not just a group from the road. That's in particular great in that aspect of the game. Second in the Big Ten, with 3.6 offensive rebounds per game. And it's just another area where UCLA seems to excel. 15.5 is the rebounding margin for the season. That is second in the nation. USC not necessarily slouches in that aspect of the game as well. Their rebounding margin sits at 1.4. It's decent, but nothing really compared to the dominance that UCLA is able to exercise, just given the size of the game. I mentioned the disparity between Farmington and London Jones and Warren Beck on Jones's drive earlier, but really, it is just a massive lineup all around for UCLA. Under Walker and Rice are really the shortest players who usually stay on the floor for the Bruins. They're 5'11" and 5'10" respectively. And then you have the combination from outside inside players like Julius standing at 6'4", Sienna Betts standing at 6'4", Lauren Betts at 6'7". And it's just really an overwhelming size advantage. The Trojans are no different. And something we have not seen from them in the second quarter is Jazzy Davidson. She is still off the floor and doesn't appear to be re-entering the game coming out of this media timeout. We didn't see anything happen to her injury, but that is certainly something to monitor throughout this game. And as the Trojans head toward a potential march through. As it'll be Kelly Smith bringing the ball up. And Smith, it's a screen. Crosses over, tries a floater that's no good, but she'll draw the foul. And we'll do it. Well, number 1 for Julius and Kennedy Smith steps to the line the first time in this contest. And she is coming off a fantastic game for the Trojans. She was 1 point shy of her career high with 19 as she misses that first free throw in their loss against Penn State, which is really a debilitating one for the whole team. A tough road loss against a team that improved to 11-17 with that victory. Certainly potentially hurting the tournament seeding. If he hits that second free throw, now 31-18 UCLA. Andrew Walker gets it to Sienna Betts. Gets it back for an open 3, no good. Rebound, Kelly Smith. Can look to push it the other way. Now Dunn. And Smith in the corner. She's going to drive it, and that pass is deflected. Neepkins. It'll end up in the hands of Sienna Betts. turnover number 9 for USC. Now inside, Jubilee spinning, and that's got a block. Laura Williams, great defensive play for the Trojans, who averaged 6 blocks a game as a team, tops in the Big Ten. Floater is no good from Jones, but an offensive rebound finally for the Trojans, out for the 3. And that one is going to be airball, like Smith. Well, the Trojans, on the bright side, they're finally able to snag an offensive rebound in possession, but they do come up empty nonetheless. Lauren Betts comes back into the game for her sister, and the Bruins lead 31-18, 3:43 left. Neepkins, Hawkins, and the Betts. Yet another double team, cross-court pass. Bruins swing the ball around. They find Hawkins for 3. She knocks it down. Beautiful ball move. Starting with that Betts pass out of the post. Bruins swing it all across the court to get that best available 3-point shot. They now lead 34-18. They're trying to pick up the screen. They'll get some space with a step back and bring. Attlesey Smith is 50. Jump shot there. She's up to 7 points on the night. In the corner. Hawkins will try another 3. That one's no good. Rebound, Smith once again. Really doing it all for the Trojans. As she's going to try and drive one. She'll pull up from the free throw line. That one's way off. Board Neepkins going away. That's a tough pass there. Hawkins is able to corral it, save it from going out of bounds. UCLA will put it back in the hands of Charlize Ledger-Walker and look to set something up here as Lauren Betts coming up to the top of the key. Sets the screen. Ledger-Walker is able to get some space, knocks it down from the elbow as Jones fell down on that screen from Lauren Betts. Yet another fantastic screen from the Bruins' biggest player. In the corner, Dunn rips through baseline. Now in the short corner, and back to Dunn in the wing. Picking screens and go right, the opposite way from it, and finds a shooter in the short corner. That was Williams, but that was way long on the air ball. And Ledger-Walker finds Ucla on a touchdown pass. He cannot finish, pleading for a foul. Please will not be answered. Henry Smith picks up her dribble here in the short corner as the Trojans look to capitalize here. Jones going to the basket. She'll be fouled by Gianna Neepkins. Ucla continues to plead her case. A beautiful find by Charlize Ledger-Walker. All the way, really, 3/4 of the court. But Ucla's not able to finish for the contact. Now a line change for USC. 3 new players coming in for them. But still no Jazzy Davidson. Have to assume at this point that there's some sort of injury issue there. Inbound. Smith into the corner. Dunn. Driving left. Trying to back down Hawkins. Can't finish on that spinning jumper. Rebound Lauren Betts. Ledger-Walker looking to continue to orchestrate this Bruins offense. Crosses over. And now back to the top of the key, Lauren Betts. There's Neepkins. And there's a double team from the Trojans, but a quick blocking foul called against Ucla. Now, 3 team fouls for the Trojans in the second quarter. Still a relatively clean game. Neither team particularly close to getting the bonus here, as we're under a minute left to go in the first half. Bruins lead 36-20. Rice picks up the screen from Betts. And there is another foul. This time it's going to be against Smith. That will be her second foul. Certainly something to watch, as she's got 7 points and 2 rebounds for the Trojans so far. Neepkins with the inbound. We go to Betts. He gives it back to Meekins. Now Betts on the block. Trying to take down with Ucla. Steps back and leans away from the basket to knock down that jumper. Extend UCLA's lead to 18 points. USC, shot clock and game clock nearly even. So I imagine they'll try to dribble this out a little bit. Lewis Samuels in possession. We have just 3 seconds separating the shot and game clock. Now the Trojans will get into action. Dunn sets the screen. Samuels behind the back, inside to Dunn. Blocked by Lauren Betts, and that'll leave just 4/10 of a second on the shot clock. That's will exit the game for Amanda Muse's first action of the night. And the Trojans will basically just have to put something up as soon as it touches their hands here. And that's just going to be a shot clock violation at the inbound. UCLA will have a couple seconds left to try and heave one up here, but either way, they'll certainly be satisfied heading into halftime here. As they have an 18-point lead. And there's just a pass across the court. It's going to end up in the hands of Roger Walters, who's almost able to knock down the runner from the elbow. That would have been a chaotic buzzer beater there for the Bruins, but nevertheless, a fantastic first half for UCLA, as there are a couple USC players down near half court. That inbound pass went all the way across the court. Really was anyone's ball. And likely a collision there trying to jump up for it. They're both going to get up here. Samuels was in there. Looked like she got the worst of it. But she is walking to the bench and to the locker room as we end off this first half. UCLA leads 38-20. Really a dominant performance from them. Dominating on the boards. 18-11 is their rebounding advantage. Dominating in a turnover match. 10-6 is their lead there. And dominating in terms of shooting. 15-32 from the field compared to USC's 8-23. And without Jazzy Davidson playing for the entire second quarter, the Trojans have found it very hard to keep pace with their crosstown rivals. We'll continue with the 110th edition of this storied rivalry after the break. It'll be Grant Walters bringing you home. Welcome back to this afternoon match between the UCLA Bruins and the USC Trojans. UCLA up 38-20 as we begin the second half. PP Rice that things out. Put out to Gabriela Hawkes on the wing. And some dumping inside to Lauren Betts who gets double team. Back out to PP Rice. Lets it fly from deep. No good off the front rim. Fight for the rebound though in the post. Lauren Betts comes up with it. Fadeaway jump shot. No good off the backboard. Rebound by the Trojans. They will start things out. First possession of the second half for USC. They're done off to Jazzy Davidson, who's back into the game for the Trojans. Sought the entire second quarter, either being in foul trouble. And it goes inside and finishes at the rim. Kennedy Smith, sophomore from Chino, California, gets it to fall. Lauren Betts in the post. Back out to Kiki Rice. Thought about the shot. Swings it out to Ledger Walker. Drives inside and finishes. Goes in with her left. Goes the shot with the right hand. Gets it to fall. London Jones back out to Kara Dunn. From the corner. Kara Dunn with the jump shot from deep. Cuts the UCLA lead to 40-25. Ledger Walker drives inside with the right hand. The backboard, no good. With the rebound. Going coast to coast with a spin move. Finish at the rim. In one. Davidson with the relentless finish. That is a do-it-yourself bucket from the freshman guard. Clackamas, Oregon local. The number one recruit in the 2025 high school class. Is also a four-time Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Oregon. He brings the free throw attempt. The UCLA now leading 40-28, 8:24 remaining. Full court press from the Trojans. Kicked away by Kennedy Smith. Nice. Going to the UC ball. Kennedy Smith forces a turnover on the hustle defensive play. The USC coming out the second half on a mission, making this a game. Kennedy Smith to Kara Dunn. Lets it go from deep. Yeah. Kara Dunn with the confidence. Right. UCLA now up to 40-31. The range finish from Kara Dunn. What a start to the second half for the USC Trojans in front of their home crowd. USC coming into this contest, back-to-back losses, Ohio State and Penn State. The rivalries often bring out a different level of compete. These teams, UCLA just clinched the Big Ten regular season title with a victory over Wisconsin on February 22nd. There's always something to play for when it is the Battle of Los Angeles. A lot of pride on the line for both of these squads. UCLA has really been dominating from the perimeter contest thus far. They attempted 13 three-point jump shots, but USC out of the break already nailed 2 to cut this lead. Got 3 for 8 on the afternoon. They continue to chip away. And both of these teams are heading to the Big Ten tournament in the coming weeks and months. UCLA is going to be the number 1 seed. It's unclear where they will finish. They currently stand at 9-8 in the Big Ten, which is tied for 8th coming off a year where they won the Big Ten last year. They have been without their star player, Juju Watkins, for the entirety of the season. He sustained a lower leg injury last season when the Trojans were a number one seed in the NCAA tournament. But Juju Watkins suffered that injury during the March Madness, and Lindsey Gottlieb and her squad learned that they'd be recovered this year. Understood that it was going to be a challenge without the Naismith Player of the Year in 2025. Now, Kiki Rice on a weak inbound for the Bruins. USC going back to that full court press. Kennedy Smith forced the turnover off the tip ball on the last possession. It's into Lauren Betts. Back to Charlize Ledger Walker. Sprints up the court. London Jones guarding tight. Top of the key. Charlize Ledger Walker. Wing pass to Gabriela Hawkins. It's an inside of Lauren Betts. Back to Hawkins in the corner. Dumps it. Lauren Betts near the perimeter. Kiki Rice has to step back. London Jones guarding. Corner three. Hawkins. Gets it to full. Gabriela Hawkins with the response. And London Jones, left hand, top of the key jump shot, no good. Right for the rebound though, and Gabriela Hawkins ends up with it. She is sprinting down the court, finds an open Charlize Ledger Walker moving inside, but decides to go back out to the perimeter. On a Neekins, mid-range jumper, off the front rim, but Lauren Betts able to clean it up. Still another fight for the rebound. Kiki Rice over the ball right near her head coach, Corey Close. She will set up the offense, overstating things for the Bruins. Lauren Betts, the top of the key, dumps it off to Gabriela Hawkins. Sends it straight for her. Mid-range jump shot off the backboard, no good. But Lauren Betts with yet another board, keeping things alive on the Bruins. Errant pass from Charlize Ledger Walker. Attempted to find Donna Neekins in the low post. But it trails out of bounds. Bruins with their ninth turnover of the night. Uncharacteristic for the Bruins, who done an exceptional job of limiting their turnovers thus far this season. But USC, using that tantalizing defense, has really stifled them. Now, Davidson, no good on the three-point attempt. Fights for the ball. And that's going to stay with USC. Kathy Davidson had some space near the top point of the perimeter. Couldn't get the jump shot to fall. Now Davidson with just 7 points, 2 for 5 shooting from the field. He leads the Trojans in scoring with 18.1 points per game. Hasn't found her groove yet, but she is a weapon that the Trojans can go to consistently. That's Kennedy Smith inside with the right hand, gets in the paint, step through, left hand, looking around, rolling. That's Kennedy Smith with the aggressive move. UCLA puts the Bruin lead to just 10, 43-33, 6:13 remaining. Gabriel Hawkins outside to Jana Neekins, finds Charlize Ledger Walker. Charlize Ledger Walker with a long-range stroke. London Jones pumping it off to Paradon. It's back to Jones. We throw jump shot off the front rim, no good. Gabriela Hawkins gets the rebound. She's pushing in transition now. Slows it down, but back to Neekins, who thought about the mid-range shot, but gets fouled by Jones. Trying to rise up the mid-range stroke, but it's the first team foul of the quarter for the Trojans. On 8 on it, the 8 thus far. The Trojans are going to steps back. No good. a little bit long. Jazzy Davidson ends up with the rebound. Foul called on Warren Betts. It's her second personal foul of the contest. Something to keep an eye on, especially Lauren Betts has had some foul issues throughout the year. Nevertheless, she is a necessity for the Bruins, anchors their defense and also their offense from the paint. You see the ball Kennedy Smith, top of the key. Angela Dugal checking back in, putting her tight, pressing up on her. Ozzy Davidson goes in with her left hand. Fadeaway jump shot, off the front, no good. Right for the rebound ensues, but Charlie's Ledger Walker comes away with the basketball. Finds Gianna Meekins inside. Can't get the short basket to go. Angela Dugan looks out top of the key. Inside the one bench, but another errant pass for the Bruins who haven't been able to find much rhythm with their passing. They lead the Big Ten in assists, but today they have 13 assists compared to 9 turnovers. Haven't seen that clean brand of basketball that the Bruins have been so notorious for throughout the 2025 to 2026 campaign. Credit to USC, who has been able to limit a lot firepower for the Bruins. Charlie's Ledger Walker leads UCLA with 15 points. Lauren Betts has been held to just 4. Again, just really limiting the inlet passes to Betts. Once he gets the ball in the paint, it's really a nightmare to deal with. Donna Neekins also found some shooting success in the Bruins, but USC clear that they had a game plan for Betts heading into this contest, and they have executed it well. Down just 13 with 4:56 remaining. USC got down 18 points in the first half and have gone into as close as 8 in the second half. They're really going to need valiant efforts from Jazzy Davidson and Kennedy Smith, the 2 leading scorers on this squad, both of whom are underclassmen. But even if the Trojans don't end up making a lot of noise in the NCAA tournament, once they get Juju Watkins back next year, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. UCLA heading in a bit in the opposite direction with a lot of their players leaving. Graduate students Charlie's Ledger Walker, Gianna Meekins are tossing their eligibility, along with Gabriela Hawkes, Kiki Rice, Lauren Betts. The core that Corey Close in her 15th season at the helm has developed. Will all be moving on to the next chapters of their lives after this season. And for the Bruins, they're really approaching it like one John Pederman mentality. This is the year where they feel that they can go all the way and win it. Because Corey Close, this one, know when they're going to be able to dominate on the national scale with all of their departures heading into the 2026 and 2027 campaign. Really doing time and telling them to find the Bruins this season. And Angela Dugalich, another graduate student that's also going to be a part of the Bruins. They know them are going to be in opposite directions. I think that Sunday afternoon at the Galen Center. Last year brought 3 extremely tightly contested games. UC took 2 of those. UCLA took the last one. Goes out of bounds. Good defensive pressure from Angela Dugalich as Ana Mendez bobbles the ball and goes out of bounds. Gabriela Hawkes moving toward the wing. One at a time, left hand to the free throw line. Inside to Lauren Betts, post. Vivian Tupi starting. Now back outside to Gianna Meekins. Makes her way into the paint. One bets the Kiki Rice now. Drives inside with the right. Gets some space on the free throw line. No good. And the mid-range jump shot. And Lauren bets yet again with the rebound. Double team action. Back out to Gabriella Hawkins with the shot fake. Goes inside. Draws the foul. She will head to the line for two. Gabriella Hawkins, 88.1% from the line. One of the most efficient shooters for the Bruins in all three categories. 54.7% from the field and 40.6% from beyond the arc as well. Her and Gianna Meekins have really defined wing efficiency this season. Hawkins nails the first. UCLA goes up 47 to 33. But Meekins and Hawkeyes have really held down the statuses as the two top scorers on this roster. Hawkeyes gets them both to fall. Now UCLA giving USC a taste of their own medicine a bit, going full court pressure. We saw that earlier today. The Bruins were getting out to a sizable lead, weren't taking the pressure off whatsoever. Dazzy Davidson, top of the key, sprays away to the wing, dumping it back to Davidson. Mid-range shot off the back rim. Hawkins with the board. He gets to the corner. They're done, starting close. Kiki Rice, wing. Inside to Dubelich. The foul is called on Davidson. USC will force yet another turnover. UCLA at 10. The foul was called. I see Davidson really causing problems for the Bruins defensively. One of the top, if not one of the best Big Ten defenders. 2.1 blocks per game and 2.0 steals per game on the season for the freshman. And Mariah Samuels. Anthony Dugan gets elbowed in the face by Kennedy Smith. There's going to be an offensive foul on Kennedy Smith. Angela Dugalich still on the ground. Took a hard hit to the face from Kennedy Smith. Smith went to Etiwanda High School. All Big Ten honorable mention last year. An all Big Ten freshman team selection as well in her first season with the Trojans. Angela Dugalich training stop comes out very close. Also goes on to check on her fifth-year player. Gets up and walks off the court. Dugalich spent a year at Oregon before transferring to UCLA, where she has been for the last 4 seasons. Key contributor off the bench for UCLA and close. 9.1 points per game on 53.1% shooting from the field. A really staple in this rotation for the Bruins. The UCLA again will retain possession of 48 to 33. Responding to USC's momentum in the first part of this second half. So championship teams do. You have punch in the mouth. You have to respond in whatever way you can. And going out to the Galen Center, hostile environment, the Bruins have handled business thus far. Flagrant one foul warranted for Kennedy Smith. Up on Kennedy Smith. Elbowed Angela Dugalich in the face on the prior possession. Kiki Rice will head to the free throw line. She will shoot, and the Bruins will also retain possession after her free throw attempts. Crowd letting Kiki Rice hear it. Train to first. Kiki Rice, 88.9% charity stripe shooter. Comes down, shoots it, bounces around the rim, and pulls through the basket. UCLA now up 52-33 in the ultimate regular season match for both of these squads. Kiki Rice near the logo. Andy Smith boarding tight. Back out to Hawkes. Inside to Lauren Betts double team, but she puts it up. No good. Gets her own rebound. Foul called on the Trojans. Lauren Betts with her 11th rebound of the contest. She has just been dominating the offensive glass. Nearly has the same amount of rebounds that USC has as a team. Well, that's with 10 compared to USC's 15. Gabriela Hawkes on the wing. Gets the elbow. Brings up to Walker. Fires it to Meekins. Slices through. Mid-range jump shot. The rim no good. Foul called after the missed shot. Possession will stay with the Bruins. Ledger Walker, 2 inbound. So now to Sienna Betts, who checks in for her older sister Lauren Betts. Driving inside, gets it stripped by Mariah Samuels. Driving towards the baseline to her own baseline to bring it out. Still taking the offense. Jazzy Davidson, football back. Sienna Betts, driving her tight. Davidson ushers everyone off. Gets to the rim and gets the goal. Jazzy Davidson does it herself. 50-35. UCLA still up. Kiki Rice, yet again, inside to Sienna Betts. Posts up, double team. Fires it outside to Gabriela Hawkes. Foul called on the Bruins. Another turn over for Corey Crumps and her through the 11th thus far. Turnovers continue to plague the Bruins in this contest. You see, but also played the cleanest game. 12 turnovers themselves. And Elias Samuels bringing it up. They're done now. On the wing. To third eye. Jesse Davidson. Top of the tee. Gets past Sienna Betts. Goes inside. Draws a foul. Scoop the ball up to the basket, but couldn't get the soft touch layup to fall. Gabriela Hawkes called for the foul. Davidson will head to the line for two. Starting to heat up for the Trojans now with 9 points on 3 for 8 shooting. Also has contributed 1 rebound. That's the first free throw to fall. Davidson, a 76.8% shooter from the line. He has gone 3 for 3 from the charity stripe tonight, but make that 3 for 4. UCLA 50, USC 36. Kiki Rice in and out move. Mid-range jump shot. Gets it to fall with a soft touch. Bounces off the front rim and falls. Elias Samuels now finds some space near the free throw line. They're done. Brings it out to the corner. He gets to the wing. Meekins, very tight. Kiki Rice punches it out of bounds. Had an inlet pass. You see to retain possession. Down 16 points. You make something happen if they're going to stay in this game against the number 2 team in the nation. On pass goes to Jazzy Davidson, who lets it fly off. Gabriela Hawkes gets the board. Kiki Rice finds the open Meekins. Driving. Back out to Ledger Walker, mid-range jump shot. So touch yet again. Dribbles around the rim and falls through the boards. Ryan Samuels tipping away by Ledger Walker, making her presence felt on the defensive end. Really had it taken away herself by Ryan Samuels, though. Bruins will settle things down. Kiki Rice sent out Jared Dunn guarding. Dump off from Lauren Betts back to Rice. Inside to Betts. Finds the open Ledger Walker who lets it fly. Ledger Walker feeling it. For the Bruins. Leads the team with 20. Ghazi Davidson. Paid for the last bucket off the front rim. Buzzer sounds. UCLA mounts a 21-point lead as we head into the final quarter of play between these two historic rivals. Ghazi Davidson couldn't get the last second shot to fall. 3 for 10 from the field. UCLA done a nice job defensively to limit the star potential. And Ledger Walker has been on a heater for the UCLA Bruins throughout this contest, notching 20 points, which ties a season high. First year with the Bruins after transferring from Washington State. Planning to play last year, but suffered a season-ending injury. He saw on the Bruins, but spent 4 of her 5 collegiate years at Washington State. Hails from Waikato, New Zealand, making the long trip out to America to play basketball. He's been one of the key facilitators on this UCLA women's squad. With 5.5 assists per game, lead the Bruins. Jones as a Walker, along with Kiki Rice, have really manned the facilitating duties throughout the season. We complement each other so well and contributed to how the Bruins have been able to attain the most assists per game in the conference. And UCLA, again, going all in, knowing that the core of Kiki Rice, Gabriella Hawkes, and Lauren Betts would all be leaving. Corey Close, after losing to UConn last year in his first Final Four appearance in program history, opted to go out and get Ledger Walker, Houston's, and that even added Sienna Betts and Lena Phillips to their freshman class. But both have significant contributions to the 2025 to 2026 campaign. Sienna Betts, number 2 recruit in the 2025 class. So we're seeing a battle between the number 1 and number 2 recruit in the country in this contest. Sienna Betts often comes off the bench for the Bruins. Jazzy Biggs has canceled a much bigger superstar role than Sienna Betts. But nevertheless, Sienna Betts has made her minutes count when she's reached before. 7.5 points per game, 4.3 rebounds per game. And Corey Close has said that she has seen a lot of development from the first year forward. Jumping from the high school level to the collegiate level is never easy. Sienna Betts dealt with some injuries early on in the season, but starting to find her groove in the Bruins rotation. USC, London Jones, over Bruin herself, taking it up. Kennedy Smith. Pass it inside to Jones. Step back, mid-range. Big fish on. Found some space with the step back and nails it. Ledger Walker picked up her dribble well beyond the perimeter. And Betts swings to Rice, top of the key. Kennedy Smith followed her out to the logo. Kiki Rice comes to get past with the right hand, goes inside, goes down to get some space, and it falls off the backboard. Kiki Rice with the aggressive bucket. London Jones letting it fly from deep off the rim. She set a single season 3-point pointers made record in her last season with the Bruins in the 2025 to 2026 campaign, but she is donning red and gold today, transferred ahead of this campaign. Kiki Rice swinging to Gabriela Hawkins. Charlie Hunter Walker, no look past the bets. No good. I'm going to get the nifty finish, though. Now Davidson inside with the right. There's trouble corralling the ball. Now it's ball on the Bruins. Gazi Davidson still being aggressive. He's really finding a lot of her success driving in on switches against a lot of against the Bruins' big options, such as Lauren Betts and Sienna Betts, using that quickness and elusiveness along with her length to get past those players. That player done. Take the shot, driving inside, looks back. Out to London Jones, top the key. Mid-range jump shot. London Jones. Fire through. Gets 8 points. Now, wild jump shot attempt from Kiki Rice. Lauren Betts cleans it up. Ball goes out of bounds. UCLA, moving down. Kiki Rice. Bruins up 59, 48:06 remaining. Finds Meekins in the corner. Bit too strong on the three-point attempt. But Gabriela Hawkins fadeaway jump shot. Another rebound. Meekins gets it. Goes inside. Goes up with it. Meekins with the aggressive finish on the second chance opportunity. And Jones in that agility. Davidson. Elbow off the backboard and smooth. Davidson gets it to Charlie's Ledger Walker. Nikki Jones guarding close. Gabriela Hawkins goes in for the screen. Inside to Lauren Betts. Double team. Finds the open Rice. Swinging it out to Gabriela Hawkins. Shot fake. Shooter is good. Now Davidson. Gets the switch on Lauren Betts. Only teammate to clear out. To take Hannah Mendez. Top the key. Jones. The rim too strong on the attempt. Kiki Rice behind the back. Meekins. Open wing shot. Meekins with her 14th point on the long range switch. So second 3-point conversion forces USC to call a timeout. Lindsay Gottlieb forced to do it. Bruins go up 24 points off the Neefkins conversion. Neefkins, another one of the transfers we mentioned earlier, spent 4 years at Utah before opting to go to Westwood for her graduate campaign. I was from Duluth, Minnesota, and went to Duluth Marshall High School. She leads the Bruins in free throw percentage and free throw percentage with 45.3% clip from beyond the arc. Is one of the best percentages in the Big Ten, along with an uber efficient charity stripe clip. You can see 52.5% from the field. Here at the Galen Center, a lot of USC fans, but a good amount of Bruin fans made the trip out to the Galen Center, which both campuses are separated by just 14 miles. Sold out crowd. Final regular season game Couldn't ask for a better finish to the Big Ten regular season, especially with a rivalry matchup as storied as they battle for Los Angeles. So have another rivalry bout coming up for the men's teams. Kelly men's basketball handled business at Poly Pavilion just last week against their arch nemesis. But things are going to change in the next matchup, especially with John Baker Mazzara being expelled from the team for undisclosed reasons. Bruins took the first match of the women's rivalry during the winter break period at UCLA. Paul Pavilion wasn't filled because a lot of the students were at home for the holidays, causing a lot of uproar with the UCLA community. So it makes no sense to a lot of students because the scheduling impacted their ability to watch their Lady Bruins, who have suffered just one loss throughout this entire season and are likely going to finish out the year with a 26-1 record, along with a perfect conference record. Quite the historic feat. So loss was to Texas back in November. And USC started the season ranked, but has struggled in the rankings. Have a ton of young pieces on this roster, but just haven't been able to gel completely. Davidson, to Kara Dunn, back to Davidson. One that's guarding, goes in with the left, attempts to finish. Wild shot from Davidson. No good. Walker finds Dugalich. Stays in the perimeter. Back to Neekins, finds some space. Three-point jumper. No good. Lauren Betts with another board over the head of Mendez. Knocks her down. Mark from Moro Williams, the redshirt freshman. 1.2 blocks per game, despite playing less than 14 minutes. Laura Williams, she has really made her presence known on the defensive end, but foul called on her. It wasn't a clean block. Lauren Betts line from line for two. Gets the first of all. Lauren Betts. Not just her fifth point in the contest, but she has had a huge impact on the board with 15 rebounds. Second attempt was off the back rim, no good. Mariah Samuels on the side. Finds Davidson. Open shot from the wing. No good, but fight for the board. Laura Williams gets it. Back out to Dunn. Fires away. Off the back rim. Dribbles off Dulich. Will stay with the Trojans. Bruins up 67 to 42. 5:50 remaining. Ball goes off Kiki Rice. Mariah Samuels couldn't find anyone open, so decides to fire it off Kiki Rice, who's guarding her on the inbound pass. You see, get the ball. Now Mariah Samuels looking around, can't find anyone. Gets it to Jones. Larger Walker close for the foul. In the block. And then Jones got her shift her feet far out and allowed her to get some space with the left hand. Larger Walker has to foul, prevent her from getting to the cup. See another inbound by Samuels. Leading the point. Back to Lyman Jones. Davidson. Trying to cut in on Dugalich, but the graduate student is called for the foul. Guarding Davidson extremely tight. You see, they seem like a position that's lasted an eternity. Into the ball. Samuels. Kiki Rice. Up tight, way beyond the perimeter. Is right up. Davidson. Davidson's facing it. That's guarding. Crossing inside. Outside to Mariah. Samuels, no good. Now the pass is good to Gabriel Marquez. That was Charles Ledger Walker looking like a quarterback out on the court. Gee, that's the relentless steal on. And then Jones leads to a conversion bucket from Kiki Rice. Charlie's Ledger Walker continuing to stamp her impact on this rivalry contest. Straight back, clean away from the driving London Jones. That led to two key transition buckets for the Bruins, who have now gone up 71 to 42. Less than 5 remaining in the Battle of Los Angeles. Bruins currently on a 12 to 2 run over the last 2:58 of play. UCLA just simply dominating the boards. 19 offensive rebounds, matches USC's total rebound count. With overall out rebounding the Trojans 41 to 19. They've been able to muster just 5 offensive rebounds in this contest. Could be in large part due to the absence of Upaya Milton, 6'5" junior, transfer from Auburn. Hasn't played much this season, just 14 games. He's one of the taller players on this Trojan roster, though. If they're done, can't find space. Bruins setting that up well. Got some Elias Samuels. Screen set. Cross over to the left hand. Finishes with the left hand. With the deuce. Gabriel Marquez bringing things up. Jazzy Davidson, Matchiger near the half-court line. Kiki Rice finds some open space, lets it fly. The rim, no good, but yet another offensive board. Angela Dugalich comes away with it. She will be called for the foul in disbelief. Angela Dugalich holds her hands up to her face. And gasps. Looked over to the bench and could not believe that was called for a foul. The Bruins still at heightened level compete against the Trojans by being up by 27 points now. 4:05 remaining. Samuels. Relentless pressure from Kiki Rice, who's on her every step of the way. Finds the open gun in the paint. Stars left the backboard and goes for the basket. Charlie's Ledger Walker. Kiki Rice to Ledger Walker. Bruins taking their time. Santa Betts dumping it back off Ledger Walker, team leading scorer this afternoon contest. Back out to Dugalich with the left. Wild shot attempt, too strong for the graduate. Ball will stay with the Bruins. So yet another inbound. All like the Bruins have gotten so many inbound passes on second chance attempts throughout the bout against the Trojans. Walker taking her time. Pass it to Sienna Betts. Near the perimeter. Safe hands of Kiki Rice. Up the logo. Elias Samuels. Trailing her. Yet another foul called. So another turnover for the Bruins. 13th of the contest. Both teams. Trojans with 14 turnovers compared to the UCLA Bruins 13. Happens when you play a very physical game. Both teams really showcasing rivalry's tenacity. They play hard. But lopsided score now. Jazzy Davidson. To Elias Samuels in the corner. Back to Davidson. Left hand. Going to Hannah Mendez. Picks up her dribble. inside to Terradon. Can't find any room. Back to Vivian Taku. No good. And to heave up a last second buzzer beating attempt. Jazzy Davidson nearly got the interception on the inbound. Ball goes out of bounds, and UCLA will have possession. So Jazzy Davidson from any point. Davidson gets up out of the game. Third night may be done. UC wouldn't want to either want to start players, especially with bigger things on the horizon for the Trojan squad. Amanda Muse checking in for the first time for the Bruins. Sienna Betts finds some space. No post. No good. At the rim. London Jones. Running out in transition. Foul called. He's sprinting off the logo. London Jones. Heading to the line. Jones team leading 85.9% split from the line. Spent 3 years at UCLA. Knocked down 87 three-pointers in her last season in Westwood. Was a single season record. Hails from Riverside, California, which is 2 hours away from Los Angeles. Kiki Rice bringing it up. Noah Samuels matching her. Back to Rice on the dump off. Offensive foul called on Sienna Betts. Sienna Betts commits her second personal foul. Freshman from Centennial, Colorado. And the number 2 recruit in the 2025 class. London Jones staying in the game for the Trojans. UCLA, clock running down, 2 minutes left. Up 71-47. They're done. Unloads from the corner. Doesn't hit the rim as Dubulich has the ball. Kiki Rice. Has an Muse. Dumps it back to Kiki Rice. London Jones. Starting tight. Dubulich, corner. No good. Way too strong. But Sienna Betts cleans up the misfire. Bruins notched their 73rd point of the contest. We'll see. Trouble with contraception as London Jones wants to dribble out of bounds. Bit of an errant pass from Lakaya Milton, getting her first minutes. Right. From Auburn after 2 seasons, improved again just 14 games. Season where she's averaged 2.6 points per game throughout her performances. 129 remaining. UCLA has seemed to button this one up. See if they can put a bow on it too. 73-47. 120 remaining. Kiki Rice. Wing stroke, no good. Just missed on the attempt. You see transition. Menendez. Collins. Samuels. Off the back rim. Quick to the board. Sienna Betts gets it. Foul called yet again on the freshman. You see, heading the line, that is Diana Mendez. Hailing from Paris, France. Another one of the underclassmen on this Trojan roster, standing at 6'3", substantial height. She also spent a year at Washington State before transferring to USC ahead of the 2025 to 2026 campaign. Seen game action in 28 games. She nails the second, averaging 3.0 points per game as well. Now, less than 1 minute remaining. Bruins attempting to salt away this rivalry contest. Village second in. Called on USC, so refs calling everything in the later part of this game, really drawing it on. Kiki Rice with inbound, Amanda Muse. Back to Rice. Milk away as much as possible. their UCLA chance raining down here at the Galen Center with a blue and gold takeover. And that's rejected by Yakaya Milton, and she lets Beth hear about it. Notches her in the paint and denies her. Milton screwed 0.6 blocks per game on just 7.5 minutes of play per game. Kiki Rice heaves up the long range attempt. No good. You'll see Los Angeles finishes, drawing the Bruin lead to 23. Bruins can hold the ball and seal this win. The Bruin faithful rise to their feet here at the Galen Center. Kiki Rice dribbles it out. UCLA will take this game against the Trojans, completing the regular season sweep against their crosstown rival, winning 73-50 here at the Galen Center Sunday afternoon. Bruins simply just dominated the boards, spearheaded their offensive success with a 22 offensive rebounds in total. That's the secret to success, especially in a conference as physical as the Big Ten. That has been our coverage of Battle of Los Angeles at the Galen Center. Grant Walters on the call, joined by Justin Attlesey. We will see you guys next week for the men's basketball contest against Nebraska. For now, have a great rest of y'all's day.